So, Ivonne, what is something that someone could come away with this film and create a brilliant future for themselves? What's one of their first steps, you think?
Well, the first step is recognize where you are at. If you are at a place where you feel sadness consistently, or when you feel that someone has done something wrong to you, work on that. Put it on paper, write it down, write those thoughts down, recognize where you are at. If you don't know where you are at, you don't know where you are going to want to go. So if you don't know, I have this, how are you going to even change it? So do an inventory of self. Do an inventory of your soul. Do an inventory of your mind. How am I thinking? How am I speaking? Who am I choosing to be in this moment? If for some of you it's challenging that thought of, or that question of who am I choosing to be aware that you are choosing. For me, it was a discovery when I was like 30 years old that I had a choice. I learned it, I knew it mentally, but I hadn't felt it in my body that I had a choice to create my reality and that I was choosing every moment, even if I was not aware of how I was choosing myself to be. So we're always a choice who we want to be, regardless of the circumstances. So the first step is know where you are at, do an inventory of yourself, of your mind, of your soul, of your words, and make a decision to change that which you don't like. Don't judge it. It's not going to give you anything but keep you in the same place where you are at. So don't judge it. Just do an inventory of self. Start where you are at.
Well, you brought up the phrase, we are always at choice. Can you explain that a little bit more? What does that mean, we're always at choice? Because I think sometimes people say, well, this is not my decision, it's someone else's decision here.
Yeah, I have an example. Like, for example, they say, well, I have to work. I had to work 24/7. No, you don't. And people will say, well, Ivonne, I have to pay my bills. No, you don't. You're choosing. But if I don't pay my bills, I'll be out of my house. Yes, you are choosing to go to work, to choose to pay your bills. So you choose not to live on the street. You can still say, I won't go to work. You'll be choosing. I won't pay my bills. You'll be choosing. I'll be living on the street. You will still be choosing that. So you have a choice. You can stay at the work that you are right now, working 24/7 or working 8 hours per day so to pay your bills, or you can choose to change your job or go to a different job or just live on the street. Every single thing is a choice. So we're always a choice, even when we think we're not. This doesn't apply for little babies. We're talking with adults here. We are trying to reach out the adult mind that has the common sense of just simply being human.
So even when we feel we're trapped, we always have choices. And explain to the people who feel like they're stuck in a situation.
There's a great example of one of our leaders in humanity about being trapped. This choice is a state of mind. Choices don't start in what we do or what we say, but what we are thinking and perceiving. And one of them is Nelson Mandela. And anybody that doesn't know him, you can research on the internet. And Nelson Mandela was in prison, one of our greatest leaders in humanity, in prison for 20 years. When he got out of prison, one of our other leaders got to interview him. And the first question he asked is, Mr. Mandela, how did you survive 20 years trapped on jail? And Nelson Mandela looked into his eyes and he said, young man, you offend me. I was not 20 years trapped on a jail. I was 20 years researching and learning from my fellow human beings. So what you learn there is that we are not trapped. Even trapped is a belief. Even trapped is a choice we're making to believe that we are. If we change our minds, things will happen effortlessly. And when we least expect it, that thing that you may call a miracle, that opportunity for a new job, or that completion of that relationship that may be abusive, or that beginning of a relationship that you may be scared to take for, or that decision of moving to another country will happen because you will have made the decision to be free in your mind. And that's where being a choice and being free actually is. Freedom is not the outside world if we don't have it in our minds. That's what liberates us from feelings of entrapment. Of our own perception.
beautiful love, United States of mind.